Hi, and welcome to another episode about our house building in Palawan, the Philippines. You can see I'm here with my lovely wife. I don't want to brag, but she had her hair done today. You look lovely, honey. She's so shy and so quiet. She handles a lot of the stress of building your own home so well. You know, you can hardly tell that she's under pressure at all. She's not cracking up or anything like that. So, we started building. That's the good news. That's the big news. We actually started building the house. So we did the groundbreaking. So we didn't know, as we said in the previous video, we didn't know that this was even a thing that you would do for a residential home building, but we had seen somewhere on the internet, I don't know if it was YouTube or something, that people were doing groundbreaking for their own residential houses. So it seemed like we should definitely do that. Even though we were so excited to get started with the house itself, we decided to do it. And it was really fun. They had the architect there, the engineer, they had some shovels that were painted gold and some hard hats for the people who attended. And it was fun. We ordered some food for the guests, and now the family, we surprised the family that they got to see the plans that we had been doing in secret, basically. And so they had like a sign there that showed that this is the house that's going to be built. So people could admire that, eat some food, meet the architect. And we even buried a time capsule underneath the soil of the property there, which had the plans in it, so that, you know, sometime far in the future, if someone dug up the soil beneath the house, they're going to find this time capsule from this year in our plans. So the construction started immediately right after that. So they had done some clearing of the land, some basic just clearing of brush and so forth. So it was ready to start the next tasks. But right after that, they started immediately building things. Apparently it's very standard for people to build like a Bahay Kubo type house on the property for the workers to stay right there. So they built these barracks, they called them. They started to use machinery to shape and level the land. So they started to do that right away. So it was really amazing to see that the construction can start so quickly right after the groundbreaking. But it was great that they had planned that. And this is going to be up to your engineer and architect and how focused or excited they are, however you want to put it. But I felt like they were really looking forward to getting the job started. And so they were saying, okay, well, we should have all the money in place and everything in place so that we can start right after the groundbreaking. So sure enough, all the machinery came in and started leveling and shaping the land. Again, we avoided one of the biggest pitfalls that we thought of building in the Philippines without a bond that would protect the client from just the engineer taking 10% of the house cost, or in our case, they asked for, I think it was 25 or 30% of the house cost. And just either, you know, by accident, by getting sick or some accident happening, or even just a nefarious situation, just that money walking off and then you not being able to find that was our biggest risk. That can be fixed by, I think, having a bond that your engineer would buy, to say, you know, if anything happened, if they didn't honor their contract, that bond would pay us back for that unfinished work or whatever, the money that you would put in. But in our case, since it became too complicated to get the bond, and it seemed like when you got the bond, it sort of raised everything up to a more formal level, and with that formality, you got a whole range of formalities which raised the price not just 10%, which I thought, okay, if we do something a little bit more formal, it's going to raise the price up some small amount. No, it was significantly higher. And I can't remember offhand, but it became cost prohibitive. So the whole budget you had been envisioning about your house and the budget that everyone had been discussing over the last 2 months or so, completely blown out of the water. It basically means you couldn't do it. For our standpoint, we'd have to go through a full redesign. So the better thing for us was to limit our risk. Like we said, we gave them $10,000. I'm willing to risk $5,000 or $10,000 on people that you have some kind of level of familiarity with. Notice I'm not saying the word trust. It's noticeably absent from my vocabulary. Right, honey? She's so quiet. Anyway, so yeah, we gave this $10,000, and that, you can imagine with backhoes and this kind of machinery and an engineer and some folks doing work, that you can burn through that pretty fast. And so it wasn't too long till they said, look, we can order this next stuff for after the first, I would say maybe 5 days of work, they could use another 10,000. So that was okay for me, because we had talked about, as long as we're seeing work taking place, that we're comfortable that they're not just building up this huge amount of funds in their bank account, that if anything goes wrong, you would now go missing all that money. This way that, if they ordered a bunch of concrete and rebar and they have workers and they're starting to put the things together, at least they're burning through that money, so that if anything did happen, at least you have some progress. So we're keeping the money flowing because we're doing this non-standard situation where we're even below the lowest number I've heard was 10% of the house cost as initial deposit. And no one's even said that. Our attorney said that that's typical. They were asking us for 25 or 30, like I said. But even at 10%, it would be too much. So I said, if it's on us to do this non-standard approach, then I really want to make sure that money's flowing. So every week when we're talking, we say, okay, what's next? What do you need money for? And they give us a list of what they're going to do, and then the money that they need for that. So it's a very like short cycles of like inquiring about, okay, you spent that money, what's next? So it's in our interest to keep that money flowing. And so, as I said, we have the footers in there now, and sort of not really, I guess you can think of it as the foundation. It's not the slab, not the whole slab is not poured yet, but these really large, much larger, much wider footings, where the columns will rise out of. I really kind of had the idea maybe they would be, 3 feet in length or something like that, 3 feet square, but they look much bigger than that. So, hey, all more power to you, right? And I think this is all coming from the engineering specs. So the stronger, the better. And that's the reports that we've gotten from folks, is that when they see that job site, they're like, this is an extremely strong structure that they're putting in. The foundation of a very strong structure, almost to the point of being like a commercial building, I heard it compared to, which is great. I'd rather have it much stronger, right? With everything that could go wrong. Why not have it more stronger than less? If it takes X number of more bags of concrete and X number of pieces of rebar and a little bit more labor, hey, fine. At least it's going to be, the bunker, the bunker in Palawan. So now we're just hitting this regular cadence. And basically, after Aini had put the coins into the footers for good luck, as we had said before, we didn't kill any chickens or anything, but throwing a few coins couldn't hurt anything, I guess. So she did that, and we're hitting this regular cadence now, where Aini is there twice a day, once in the morning, once another time during the day, and then the engineer, and of course the whole team is there, but this engineer is sort of like the leader of the project, hour to hour. And then the architect will come in, but we're not meeting with him every time he's there because there's just nothing to talk about. But what we did arrange ahead of time was that on, I think it's certain days of the week, the architect will be there, we'll meet and get a tour, so that you can understand what you're looking at. Of course, we want to see that things are generally rising up out of the ground. But to get that idea of like, okay, we completed this and there's a few more things to do with that, like really getting an understanding from the architects, we think that's been really helpful. So we're getting those tours, we're taking photos. So remember we said there's no such thing as trust, all there is evidence. And so by saying, here's the photo of the footings and here's the photo of the column starting to rise or whatever it is, you'll have that in your project file to say, if anybody has any questions, even down the road, if there's some structural question down the road, you'll have this very detailed picture as things are not covered up yet with other pieces. So we're getting photos. And then also I should mention that I really wanted to do a time lapse, right, hon? Yeah, I thought so too. She's, like I said, she's so shy today. That I really wanted to get a time lapse, so that you've probably seen those, real time lapses that you have time lapse camera that just, goes over time and the house gets magically built in, 1 minute of time. And we did have that option to buy these cameras. I think it's Brino or some camera you can get on Amazon. If you just search for time lapse construction cameras or something. I think Brino is the company, and they're fairly affordable, a couple $100 you can get it. And that one you would just go and you set it up, and it sits there, and it literally takes pictures every 2 hours or something. And then you just take that little SD card out of there every month, download it into your computer, put it back in. And then, replace the batteries, whatever cadence. We're so overwhelmed with everything that's going on. We just decided, no, we can't, oh, please, honey, please. I'm talking. Oh, she's very affectionate too. So, anyway, I was going to say, that, it just seemed like there was so much going on. We didn't want to, go through all that and then add one more thing to our list of things to do besides everything else going on. So what we're doing is that we're taking pictures from like one pretty stable spot. So if you can find like a tree or a fence or something like that, where you can say, I'm going to stand here every day and take one shot in the kind of roughly the same area. Then at the end, you can feed it into the video software and it'll have that same effect. You won't have to worry about batteries and SD cards and downloads and all that kind of thing. So just FYI, after it's built, of course, you'll feel like the house has always been there. You won't get that like day by day feeling. So I'm really looking forward to having that. So aside from the site meetings, we have regular project meetings, and these are pre-scheduled. And this is some advice that I got from people before on these videos I talked about very early in the series here, where one of the advices was, don't try to grab time from your architect or any kind of a team member through, week by week. And, I can't do it on Thursday. I can't do it on this day. So we said every day, every Monday or whatever time it is, Philippines time, we're going to meet at this particular time and we're going to resolve whatever open questions we have. So we have that in place. So no matter what's going on, we always meet. Even if we don't have that much to talk about, at least we can reconfirm things that we know, or reconfirm what's going to happen next week. And then that's one of the big things there, is besides talking about what money do they need because of this unusual setup, we can also talk about like what's happening next week, or did this week complete successfully, or do we have things that inadvertently pushed into the following week? So getting that time ahead of time, getting a lined out project schedule, and this can be as easy as taking an Excel spreadsheet and putting the like Monday start dates all the way across the top. And then on down here, you have like major milestones, like, I don't know, foundation finished or something, or the bricks being put up in the walls. So some huge, 10,000 foot checkpoints. And you can say, at least give me a month, it doesn't have to be down to the day, but at least give me a month. And best case scenario, you'll get like a week, like, we should finish putting up the bricks in the wall this week or something like that. And then you'll kind of have something to compare it to, Yeah, I know, I'm talking about that. So she was mentioning, don't forget about the AAC block. This AAC block has very interesting properties. If you've seen it, some other projects in the Philippines have used it. We're having that stuff shipped in from Manila, just because when you see all the comparisons to concrete hollow block, that's CHB, the very typical kind of construction material, and how it's these great fire resistant properties, insulating properties, and so forth, we decided to go for that. But again, it's on us. We want to do something special. It's on you to say, before we need to use that stuff, we got to find out how much time it takes to order it, get it shipped down to Palawan, and then add, maybe 5 days buffer just in case, the ship has a problem or something like that. That's on us. So these are the things that Ani just wanted me to mention that we're about to make that particular order. So you're always looking ahead for and asking, do you have everything you need to be productive next week? Because you can make that happen as the homeowner. I believe you can really push that schedule faster by saying, hey, you want plumbing stuff? That plumbing stuff's going to be there 5 days or 3 days before you even need it. And when it's time to go, this stuff's been counted, it's been logged, maybe even tagged with like, okay, this is the upstairs faucet or whatever. You can make that difference on the team by being the one who cares mostly about that item. So I think that's pretty much it. We're just kind of so happy to be moving along in this cadence after planning. Now we're really making something, and we're always looking ahead. Of course, planning more in a more focused and detailed way in the next week or month than we are way down like 6 months down the road when we're thinking about other stuff. So that's it. That's the news for today. I know Ani's been so quiet this time, but that's just the way she is. That's the way she handles pressure. So I'm doing all the talking today. So thanks again for watching, and we'll give you an update soon. Take care.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now at the hour of our death. Amen. The Lord be with you. May the Lord Almighty bless you and kindly receive the desires of your heart. Amen.
Bye-bye.
Tapos third file na lang tayo.
Okay na, okay na. Yan.
Then, susunod. Let's see kung may pababain natin na.
Okay.
Na nag-work kasi ba?
Yes. Ako yung unang mag-work. Okay na?
Okay na. Next, engineer naman.
Oh, si engineer. Engineer. And then next, architect.
Bye kayo.
Hello guys! Welcome to our vlog!
Yan.
Hindi pinadala ko dahil doon, hindi kasama sa usapan namin noon.
Ito.
Ay, hindi kasi ito isang tabon noon sa ulo.
Okay. So, kailan ho natin ano yan?
Ay, tinatanong ko sa kanya kung magkano ang pan. Ito baka ang mga luong nito.
Lunes po. Sunday ho, wala ko kayong pasok, right? Sunday.
Ngayon, wala pa siguro, pero pag ko na, tuloy-tuloy yun.
Kaman na dito ba?
Hello?
Ano, Albert? Bakit yan? Tapos ano yan siya? Ano lang ako ng space eh. Ano lang tawag dito? Mga... Ha?
Storage?
Diyan sa likod? Wala na yan. Ano lang yan? Open area lang yan siya. Sa ano lang. Nalagyan lang mga... Diyan ka.
Magbubuhos, para pagkabuhos, nalagay ng pulong maliit. Matamunan siya. Kasi hindi makikita ron. Guide doon sa kung saan.
Okay. Ayan siya.
Ngayon ang gagawin namin, dito kami maunang magbubuhos para pagkabuhos malagay yung pulong maliit. Matabunan siya. Kasi hindi
Okay.
makapunta ron.
Kunin natin yung ito. Ito, paulin niyo muna ito. Kulit. Pwede na tayo sa motor? Pwede na, no? Kaya sa isa, 20 lang mo siguro. Pwede hindi siya magkasya dyan dagdag.
So here they put a poison for termite. Each hole they are going to put all of them here. So they did this first. And then kuya, after ng termite, ano yung susunod nyo?
Ano na po, rebar na po.
Rebar na, okay.
Yung sa puting.
Okay. So next one, they are going to put the rebar, all of the each
Grabeling po.
columns.
Grabeling.
Grabeling, okay.
Nag-grabeling pa tayo natin and then atin isuyin.
Okay. Kailan din ho yan? Bukas din ho or next?
Ngayon po.
Ngayon. Okay.
Nag-graba po muna ako bago mag...
Okay. So pagbalik namin mamayang hapon, meron na siya.
Meron na po. Yan po
Okay.
mauna yung itong linya na to.
Okay.
Ito ang target namin magbuhos ng Monday.
Oh, Monday. Ayop, hindi umulan.
Kaya nga po, sana po hindi muna bumira ng ulan.
Sana nga hindi. Ah, lahat na pala. Oh, ano, yung iba pala, lahat na rin, ano, almost done na rin.
Huwag lang umulan.
Wag lang naman sana umulan. Para tuloy-tuloy. Sunday ho, wala ko, hindi ko kaya nagwo-work, ano?
Kuan po muna. Sa kuan na lang siguro. Sa susunod.
Monday?
Sa susunod na mga linggo pag talagang kana naka-kuan na ba.
Okay.
At saka makakapagawa na ako to. March siguro.
Okay.
March tuloy na.
And they're putting the poison for termites.
Galing pa doon sa kabila? Ha? Hindi yan? Ay, silver yun eh.
Tapos doon na sa kabila. So here it is. They're covering it with the soil back. And they still have to do the other side here. And this one, they're putting some column, I guess. And putting some concrete later. And also, they are putting the beam. See that?
Ganda yung lahat ng tinampakan natin makagawa ng mga ito. Kasi hindi makumpak kapag tayo mabutik. Tala yung natin dyan. Isang araw na siyang umiikot din eh. Unang dalawa, no? Unang dalawa. Hanggang dito. Dito lang naman tayo.